Hello and welcome to This Board Game Life. I am your host, Mark, and today I'm unboxing Dune Imperium Uprising and the Rise of Ix expansion. Both of these are from Direwolf. Now, in Dune Imperium Uprising, you want to continue to balance military might with political intrigue, wielding new tools in pursuit of victory. Spies will shore up your plans, vital contracts will expand your resources, or you can learn the ways of the Fremen and ride mighty sandworms into battle. Dune Imperium Uprising is a standalone spin off to Dune Imperium that expands on that game's blend of deck building and worker placement while introducing a new 6-player mode that pits two teams against one another in the biggest struggle yet. Now, the Dune of Imperium expansions Rise of Ix and Immortality work with Uprising, as do almost all the cards from the base game, and elements of Uprising can be used with Dune Imperium. The choices are yours. The Imperium awaits. Now, in the first expansion that was released for Dune Imperium called Rise of Ix, is going to see conflict spreading across the Imperium. You will enter the fray as one of 3 new great houses with unique leader abilities. Acquire technological innovations from the planet Ix for a lasting strategic advantage. You can deploy fearsome dreadnoughts to rule the skies above Arrakis, or dispatch subtle infiltrators to outmaneuver your opponents. Dominate the Imperium in the new epic game mode for a more intense, high-stakes challenge. This game is designed by Paul Dennen. Art is by Clay Brooks, Derek Herring, Raul Ramos, and Nate Storm. This is published by Direwolf in 2022 for the expansion, and 2023 was the Uprising release of Dune Imperium. This game's for ages 13 and up. The core game plays 1 to 4 players or that new 6-player mode, and it takes anywhere from 60 to 180 minutes, again, depending on the number of players and the mode that you're playing. All right, so with that said, before we go to the table, I do ask that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you will never miss when we're dropping new content. All right, so let's get to the table and let's just take a peek and see what comes in here. It helps if I hit the right button. All right, so I have played Dune Imperium before. I have not played the Uprising, but I have played Dune Imperium a couple of times. Was looking, kind of debating about getting this, and my friendly local game store hasn't had it in stock. And then I went in there today for game night, and they had Dune Imperium, they had the Uprising, and they had Rise of Ix in stock. So, my understanding is if like you're buying it now, then go with Uprising. It is Dune Imperium with some additional stuff. So it's like a 2.0, I guess you could say. But if you have Dune Imperium, then you may not need this. It's not. I don't think it's essential. So, all right. But since I didn't have the original, then I figured why not? We'll buy this the newer release, and maybe with game night, this has the 6-player mode. Maybe we can try that out. All right, so let's see what comes in the box here. So again, if you have the original game, you might be real interested in seeing this just to see what is different from your copy compared to this one. So all right, looks like we've got some Clank advertisements and some more Dune Imperium advertisements. All right, so this big rule book here, very colorful. Yep, nice setup. I liked everything's like labeled really easy to see. A1, A2, everything is like, man, I was playing some of the day and I was like trying to, like, couldn't even read what the rule book was saying, but that was a really small box game, so it wasn't a huge box like this. So, all right, some overview, some major concepts, talking about how a round structure is, little card anatomy, talking about how to do your turn. This is a pretty interesting game. Like I said, I've played Dune Uprising, or I'm sorry, Dune Imperium a couple of times, and there's a lot going on, and I'm looking forward to playing it some more to get better at it. That's one of the problems that I have is I have so many games. I'm constantly buying new games. It is so hard to get something played multiple times. Like tonight, just for example, we're June, what is it? June 25th, 2025. I finally played Great Western Trail today for the first time. Love the game. The game is awesome. I'm like, I want to play this again. Everyone there loved it. So I'm sure if I bring it, I'll get it played again. But again, it's one of those. It's like so tough to. It's so tough sometimes to get some of these games tabled over and over and over. All right, so just they said, just to clarify, if you have the base Dune Imperium game, they say we recommend that you don't add the conflict cards from Dune Imperium. You may do so if you wish, but it will make matching battle icons harder. As there is no Mentat in Uprising, you should remove the calculated higher intrigue cards and the sort through the chaos conflict card if you've chosen to use the conflict cards from Dune Imperium. You may shuffle all other intrigue and Imperium cards with Uprising if you wish, or create your own custom blend of select Dune Imperium and Uprising cards. So there you go. Just a little kind of addition. So they do have some stuff in here about adding Rise of Ix and adding the Immortality expansion. So, but they both work with this game. So might be a couple things you might need to do before adding them in. All right, so the board space guide. Here's a guide about the board. Here's the Rivals solo and 2-player games. How to do a solo and 2-player. Here's 6-player games. So here's the instructions for that. There's new major concepts, how to set it up. We'll have to try this out. I know my game group has the original game, but everyone I was talking to tonight about, they don't have this yet. So they might really like to try the 6-player mode. So we'll probably have to get that tabled here pretty quick. And again, I want to play Great Western Trail again. I got so many games I want to play again, and trying to get them tabled. All right, so Fremen Emperor. I don't know what these are. I guess I need to pull my thing back out. I can take a look. All right, what are these? It doesn't. For games with 1 or 2. Well, that's not these. Wonder if these are part of the 6-player game. These are additional components. I don't recognize these from the one I played. Or is this the 1 or 2-player? I don't know. Oh, well. I don't even see it in the component list. I'm sure it's here somewhere. 9 liters. Okay, well, there's these 2 boards, whatever they do. The Fremen and the Emperor. Nothing on the back, so I don't know what that's for. This is for use in a 6-player game only up here. This is for use with the Rise of Ix expansion. So that's probably like the rules in here that where they're talking about, when you're incorporating these other expansions, you probably got to use replace some of the things or add some things in to make it compatible. So here's some punch. I will want to probably be very careful when I punch this out. All right, let's take a look at the board. I don't even know if I would notice anything different. I said I've only played it a couple of times. So It is double-sided. 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure which. The assembly hall I remember. Don't know if I remember this spot. Like I said, I can be completely wrong, so don't hate on me. Like I said, I've only played it like twice, and I don't own the game. So this, let's see, is there fewer spaces? No, there looks like up to 12. I'm sure one of these sides is for more players. That's 4-player there. So this is a little different. A, C. That's I think for 4 players. So that's probably the 4-player board. Maybe the other side is for the 6-player game. I that could be. I don't really know. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the battle. I'm trying to see if anything on this board looks different. All right. Well, as far as I can tell, it looks identical. Nope. There are some differences. Okay, so the Fremen. Okay, is this the Fremen? This is the Fringe Worlds. Ben Gesserit. I don't know the Dune world, so I'm the Spacing Guild and the Great Houses on there. And then here we have the Emperor, Spacing Guild, Bene Jesuit, and Fremen. So this is a little different. So that's something there with the board. There are differences on the two sides. All right, so we've got a bunch of little round tokens. All right, let's see. I can probably tell you what those are. These round tokens. you kill it? You kidding me? They don't list them in here? I am not seeing these components. Now, again, this might be for, maybe it's one of the other expansions or a different game mode or something. I don't know. Let's see. Here you got those little, it says spies. 3 spies. Come in gray. I think that's what these are. These are additional player components. The blue and then the gray. These are their spies. I don't know why they're not listed here. So, oh, right here, 3 spies. They didn't look like they were these columns. Okay. Yeah, it's in there. All right, then we've got sandworms. Look like sandworms. Oh my goodness. All right, so, ridiculous. I'm not seeing sandworms on here either. Ah. All right. I don't know. But then we also have like sandworm miniatures. So let me show you that. I've got 4 of these in the game. Oh, and then there's the sandworm wooden tokens. All right. We got a bunch of cubes. So 16 cubes per player. And we've got 2 disc markers, a score marker, and a counselor token. We have spice. It's the spice. All right. And we've got some agents, more player cubes. We've got wooden water tokens, Solari tokens. We've got three little cubes. So these are faction cubes plus the Fade the Rao Harkonnen leader cube. I know I'm butchering the names of all this. And we got 9 leader cards, it looks like. 2-sided, including one used only with the Chom module. So I don't know how to say his name. House Atreides, that's the main guy. Maudib. I know you guys are gonna just hate me. I'm like butchering. I'm not gonna say the names. How about that? I've seen the movies, but I don't know. I know this is Harkonnen, but I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try to read the first part of that. So I know who plays this guy. I remember their character likenesses right from the movie look great. So all right, so there's those, and then we got a bunch of cards, and I'm not gonna open them up. But there are a bunch of cards in here. Deck A, Deck B, and a smaller deck of cards. So we're just gonna leave those in there. And then I'm gonna, let's see, that's it for that. So I'm gonna put this stuff all back in here. Then we will jump into the Rise of Ix box. I'll show you what's in there. I really wonder what these are. I did not see anything in the box explaining what those are. All right. There's a lot of rule books, so it's probably buried in there in one of them there rule books. All right. Cover that. And then we'll take a look at the Rise of Ix. Okay. Put the old knife away. All right. Hey, Clank Digital. If you haven't played this, I will say this. They did an amazing job on the digital version of this game, but look, I remember playing it when they first released it. Unless they've made some updates, and unlike the board game, at the start of the game, you pull a lot of dragon cubes out. In the digital version, it does not pull a lot of dragon cubes out. It was pulling out player cubes so frequently. I'm like, this is not like any version of this I have ever played. So I do feel like Clank Digital cheats a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they've updated it. I think I got it when it was like a release to like a game preview. So it's probably been updated and hopefully toned down a bit. Because even like on the easy mode, it was just pulling like, I'm like, the number of dragon cubes in this bag is huge compared to player cubes, and it was just pulling player cubes all the time. And then it does look like a Dune Imperium digital version. Ooh, I should check this out. This would be probably a really great way for me to get better and learn this game better. I'm going to hold on to that and check that out. But anyways, Dune Imperium Rise of Ix. So nice again, big rule book. They have a link right to the Watch It Played video, which Rodney Smith does an excellent job of explaining how to play games. So if you ever if you haven't figured that one out or found that channel, Watch It Played is excellent. There are a lot of other YouTubers that do a really good job, but I really do like how Rodney does his videos. So, all right. So again, just kind of looking through, showing you some of this solo and 2-player rules. Epic game mode. Whoa, this box is a mess. Wow, look at this. Stuff is everywhere. All right. So I guess the little cards weren't sealed, were they? They're just in here all discombobulated. That looks like it was supposed to be. There's the pack. So we got intrigue cards. Let's see. Oh, these are all intrigue. Oh, there's a conflict. Conflict. So there's some conflict cards in here, intrigue cards. Let's see what else. Those are all. They were probably in here. I'll bet you that's where they were. And that somehow came open. Oh. All right. Baggies, more cards. Another card. Another card. I do remember these. I've played this expansion. All right, now I remember now seeing this. All right, so there we go. Somehow that they were all out of the package. All right, so I do remember these things being in the game when I played it last. We had that expansion in it. So I guess I've played the Rise of Ix and didn't realize it. Some more wooden tokens. Again, there's some more tokens, more baggies for stuff. And oh, look at that, more cards. Let's see, are there going to be any more in there? Nope. So these two. More conflict cards. Okay. All righty. And then, of course, we'll have the card pack for this game. And then, the tech negotiation board. So I think this lays over the top of the base board game. And then I think this is where you put these little tiles down here. I think they go. Now they might go on this one. They might go on here. I think this is where they go. Can't remember. But the rule book will tell me. It will tell me what to do. So we've got 2 player cards there. And then, of course, some more character sheets with round rules and stuff like that on the back. So here's a kind of look at what you get in this expansion. All right. So there you go. That is Dune Imperium Rise of Ix expansion. So this does require Dune Imperium, either the Dune Imperium or the Uprising to play. So that's a look at what comes in the box. All right, let's take it back. Again, thank you for watching. Do ask you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that bell icon so you'll never miss any content when we drop it. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you watching. And feel free to comment. Let us know what you think of Dune Imperium. Have you played the Uprising version? Have you played the 6-player version? I'd really like to hear from someone who's played that and what your thoughts are. And again, do hit that notification bell so that you know, like when our bi-weekly podcast is dropping that Rob and I do every 2 weeks, where we talk about the stuff we played, talk about some of the news. And you can also catch that on your audio podcast app of choice. Just look for This Board Game Life, and you should find it. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We appreciate it. Hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you at the table.